Should we do a whole video like this?
No, because I don't want to sit here and listen to it.
I don't think I could actually do that seriously.
Dream Supply, giving you the tools and knowledge to make your dreams your reality.
So time management, is that what we're going to discuss? Time management today? Do you feel like time management is something that is a challenge for you, Andre?
Definitely.
Why?
Because there's so many distractions in 2019. There's so many things you can do.
What do you find to be like the culprit of most of your distraction?
Xbox and YouTube. Some weeks it's Xbox, some weeks it's YouTube.
YouTube is a tough one though, because sometimes it's counterproductive, but then sometimes it's the evil necessity because you're looking for information. It could be part of your process. So I always think YouTube's a tough one to gauge if it's a distraction or it's actually being helpful.
I think it's very easy. It's a distraction when you're looking at people doing stupid stuff or like, the next phone to come out, when you already know which phone you're gonna get, or you're just, you're looking at stuff that you know is not really helping you. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
Versus,
I think though too, I think and by no means, like, I think I'm decent at time management, like, because I'm able to balance a lot of things and still get things done. So one way that I found for myself is for me to be able to gauge like my productivity. So it's like the whole goal is to, even if it's a little bit, you're further tomorrow than you were today. Some days you're going to have a bigger stride and some days it's going to be smaller strides, but as long as you're not stagnant or in the same place. So what I try to do is look at the beginning of the week and have some goals set that I want to get done or off my plate. And then I always just do an assessment at the end of the week to see, was I productive, was I not productive? Like, it really comes down to a lot of self-accountability, and you really have to stay focused. Because even myself, like, I will drift off into stuff that's so not relevant, like making a stupid Area 51 video with an alien running. Like, I don't even know how I went down that rabbit hole, but I was like, oh, look at this picture of Area 51. And then I was like, maybe I'll take a 3D alien. And then I did motion tracking for his shadow to run, and then added glitch effects and sound design. And it got like 100 views on Facebook, and that was it. Like, it wasn't even worth the payoff. So we're all guilty of, but see, in my head, I'm chalking it up to, well, I'm just practicing for when, but that really wasn't the time to be practicing or experimenting, you know what I mean? So, but the time management thing is just like, I think it comes with time and experience too. I don't think anybody just wakes up one day and I'm going to be great at managing my time today. You know what I mean? Like, nobody does that. Like, it's not how it works. I think it's just...
You say that, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think in your mind you want that to be the case. Because then there's always the days where you just get curveballs that, things get put behind schedule. But I think it comes with gradually taking on more things instead of just saying, okay, I'm used to having, a couple of things that I got to get done today. And then go and add 20 to them. No one's gonna succeed making that type of jump. But if you get good at managing a couple things, and then okay, I can make room and add some other stuff. But I think the best way to do that is try to be efficient. And is it something I can do, or is it something someone else can do you know what I mean? Like, as far as like delegating something or helping manage it, because growth, we always think about like our growth comes like it's a solo thing because it's personal, it's my growth. But in reality, your growth is also dependent upon the people you keep around you, you know? So my growth, like this year, my growth is only a direct result of the people around me, period. Like there's no way I could achieve or do the things I do without my team around me. And that's really what it comes down to for anything. It doesn't matter what the job is, what industry it is. Like there's no solo solo way to do it. It's just not possible. Not have tremendous growth at the same time. But you know, I think I still strive to want to do more. What do you think from the mentality, like inside, like why you allow yourself to get distracted and not like pull yourself back on track to, like, if you're doing something? Like what do you think that challenge is for you?
I don't set up my environment to push me in the direction I want to go. I try to do everything in my room, and that's where the Xbox is. If I'm working on my laptop and the Xbox is right there, then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll just get a game in.
Sell the Xbox.
And I'm not selling the Xbox.
Sell the Xbox.
What I've been doing is just not working in there, and that changed everything. I've did it last week. I did it.
What did you get accomplished last week?
What did I work on when I was not in there? I don't remember, but I did do stuff.
Why don't you, okay, selling the Xbox may be a little dramatic. Why not put it in a box and put it like in the...
And then I just said, like...
Make it an inconvenience to actually go and get it and set it all up. Like, I would say just disconnect for like 2 weeks and see what you can get done. Just disconnect for 2 weeks. And then That doesn't make any sense. What is it about the room? It's not like it's cursed. It's not like some voodoo thing going on. Like what? I mean,
it's just I can just dick around on the internet and just do whatever.
You could do that anywhere though.
Yeah, but you just feel like it's like relaxed time. It's time to chill when you're in your room.
I think you need to change your mentality about your room then, because like, I mean, I suppose I could come in this room and feel like it's chill and relax time, but I don't like to chill and relax. Like I want to be working. Like you have to be obsessed with what you want to become in order to achieve it at a great level. Like if you're not obsessed, you have to think about, well, what are you supposed to be obsessed about then? Because like I literally can't wait to go to sleep so I can hurry up and wake up and do it all again tomorrow. Like I want to just move forward. Like I know when I lay my head down, I can't wait to wake up. Like I have no interest in sleep. I have no interest in relaxing or chilling. And like my wife says it all the time, like, oh, can we just have a weekend where nothing's scheduled? No, I can't, because that is crazy to me, because I feel like I'm just wasting time. That's how I kind of look at it. It's like if it's getting into, for me, it gets into the dream over everything mentality. Like, and I'm obsessed with the dream, and my dream is storytelling essentially, and it drives the studio, it drives everything for me to provide an income and house for my family. It's the driver of everything. But you have to be obsessed. Like if you're not obsessed, like I think you have an obsession with acting, but I don't know if your obsession is, I don't, and it may never drift into the production or post-production piece of it. Like I think it's a part of it, but it's not. I think your greater obsession is acting, because you go to more classes than anybody I know. for like zero. Oh no, I'm going to class. No, I'm gonna go to class. Got a class. I got a workshop. Got a class. Nope, got a workshop. Can't do it. Got it. So,
It's
like,
fun. It's so much fun. I would be at a improv thing right now if I wasn't here.
that's what I'm saying. So like, but you got to now the same. Like this is just the same mentality. Like you have to apply that same mentality into anything else because like you can only go to so many classes in a day. There's still all these other hours in the day. Like how are you going to maximize those to? Because I think it's like one of those things like everything is beneficial. Do you feel like everything you've done as a part of the team it's had to have been somewhat beneficial in your acting just from being around the production side and different levels of talent of everything, right? No, does it help in that aspect at all?
Yes, because it inspires you to go and do better, do more. Like watching someone like Keller makes you want to go practice.
Don't give Keller a big head. He's got a big enough head.
Well,
But he's great.
that's
He is
good
great.
going places, so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really gravitated towards him in Slight, and I think when they see more of him in the E-listers, I think it's really it's going to be really interesting. So, but it's good though because you're able to kind of balance the two. I think too you gotta kind, especially like when we get on the bigger projects like E-listers, like utilizing and you got to use it as a network too. Set is a network just the same because there's other, not just because I may be the director of that particular project, like Ben directs, and there's other people that wear other hats doing other stuff. So it's like you got to make sure people know, hey, I also do this, and they're like, oh man, well that guy he acts and he has a camera. Like he could be a big asset for our production. Like you got to be able to maneuver that, you know. But it's about figuring out how you do that in a tactful manner, because you also don't want to be the guy that's just the guy that's just like the over networker, you know.
Handing out his business card to everybody.
Yeah, and it's just like he's not. He doesn't care. He just wants to get his name out there, and it's like it comes across more annoying than it does anything else. Like it's, if anything, you're like, oh gosh, yeah, he's not coming back because he doesn't know when to shut up, or her, or whatever. But so, what are you gonna do to increase your, I guess, your focus on staying on track with what you got? I think it starts with, you got to set some goals at the beginning of the week, even if they're small goals. You got, because without a direction or a goal in mind, you're open, you're leaving yourself wide open to wander aimlessly into dumb shit. So I think like going into like beginning of next week, Monday morning, you gotta give me 3 things you want to achieve like next week, like by Friday, going into the weekend, 3 things. And they could be simple. They don't have to be like I have my list that I made out this week. I make a list every Monday morning. I make out a list of what I got to try and get accomplished this weekend. One of them was edit my sister's photos of my niece when they were in town. Super simple, but it's on my list because if it's not on my list, I will more than likely not that it's just a lot of stuff going on. So it's not, I want to say like, not that I won't remember, but I need it there to be relevant at the top of the list to make sure it gets done. And I'll tell you what, man, when you start going through that list and you start crossing, oh man, I got this done. I'm like, oh wait, I got that. And it's a great feeling. Like you feel like it's not only crossing the stuff off the list, but then knowing like, man, I'm so much further. Like I launched 2 websites in the past 2 weeks, completion. Those are like 2 clients taken care of, done. Like that felt great because getting a website to a launching period, there's so much work that goes into it, just from revisions back and forth with the client, just the structural design and the user interface and how it interacts and what functions they want it to do. And I try to go in with a pretty good idea of what they want just from our initial conversations, but sometimes I hit it nail on the head and there's very minimal revisions, and sometimes it's like good layout, let's change colors, I don't like the font, different things like that. And there's a lot more tedious work because we did a last minute name change for the website and the business moving forward, and even though it was one word that we changed, it was we switched the word executive to office because the word executive in the URL is just long. It was like iconic executive suites. And that's just a really long URL. And I said, that's just too much for people. So we just switched it to office, which is a lot shorter and a lot easier for people to remember. But all the verbiage through the entire website, when it mentioned the title of the company, it was the entire name. So I had to go through and pinpoint all of the words executive and change it out to office. It's just like those things are just a big time killer. But it feels good to get it done. We're done, we launched it, promo video, the whole nine. So especially when you're wrapping up client work, it's if you want to take on multiple projects, you just have to find a way to bury yourself in it. Do you hate what happens at the end of the week when you're like, dude, I didn't get anything accomplished that I wanted to get done?
Yeah, but I think I'm too positive. I'm like, I can just do it next week. Yay!
That's not positive, that's procrastination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
But I think there's got to be a way that you can find some tactic to hold yourself accountable to it. Like, if it's even like, man, if I don't get this done, I'm putting the Xbox up for 2 weeks if I don't get this done. And if I get it done, then it can stay. And then it's like, if you mess up again, like, no, I'm putting the Xbox up for 3 weeks. You got to find a way to hold it, because at the end of the day, dude, like, no one cares how you spend your day, right? So you got to care.
Yep.
You got to do it. Because here's, at the end of the day, like, I want Andre to be successful. And I'm going to do everything I can to help you be successful, but you have to want to be more successful than I want you to be. Like, it's never going to happen if I want it more for you than you do. So, it's good to have the support there of someone saying, man, you got this, you can do it. I want you, if you need my help, let me know. But you still got to be like, man, I just want to get up and do it. So what did you not get done last week that you were meaning to get done?
I need to send those script ideas to you.
Oh yeah, what happened with that?
I haven't compiled them together.
How many are there?
A bunch, a few, a handful, probably like 4 or 5 good ones.
And so you have them, you know what they are, right? So it's not like you're creating them and then sending them to me. Like, why not send them to me? Because so hear me out though. So if
I gotta go through all my notes and find them, and then I want to I'm decided. It's not like it's like I want it to be good enough when I present it to you.
But it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be a good idea is a good idea. It doesn't matter how it's presented. Yeah. A bad idea is a bad idea, or if it's got to be flushed out, like, it doesn't, those things don't matter, because if it's good, it's just going to be good. And, obviously, like, if you have these ideas and you're like, yeah, I want to, I got this idea, and, it's giving yourself the opportunity to get in front of the camera and do things that way. Like, if that's super important to you, then the only way you can convey to me how important it is to you is by, like, I'm like, get me the ideas, because you brought it up, right? So you're like, yeah, I got these ideas. I'm like, give me the ideas. let's make it happen. But then it's like a week goes by. Well, it can't be that important to Andre because I don't have any ideas yet. And now I'm hearing about it again. So like you got to make time for the stuff that is important to you. Like if, cause hands down, which is crazy because hands down, we have the 2,000% ability to probably pull off your ideas with little to no money.
Me and Mary, we're writing an idea, and on Wednesday we wrote a lot of stuff and fleshed out some ideas, and we have some stuff to go with it.
I know, but you're talking about you have a couple different ideas, meaning a couple different stories that necessarily don't go together. You just have these ideas. Like, and I think like me saying, hey, give me your ideas, that's the most simplest form you could give it to me, because we have a personal relationship to where I'm not expecting you to present it to me in some elaborate, try to sell me the idea. Like, I just want the idea. Like, I'm like, tell me the fucking idea, dude. Like, it's that simple. Like, we could, I don't know.
We could make it.
So, yeah, hands down, I don't know what the idea is, so I don't know the complexity of the production, but in most cases, we can produce and shoot almost anything. So, that's just something to think about, man. You gotta focus, man.
Dream, imagine, create. Follow Michael on Instagram at directedbym3.